Toronto condo sold at $800,000 loss just 6 months after last sale is the big headline, TK.
This episode is brought to you by Shrubs.me.
And we got like a Yorkville condo, okay? Right? A Yorkville condo, which is actually, I don't even think it's really in Yorkville, but they market
I don't think it's Bay
It's
Street.
Bay
and
Street
Bloor.
is in Yorkville, but this part of it,
but it's
this part of it is not.
I don't consider this Yorkville, even though it's south of Bay.
It's not.
To me. It's just south of Bay, but
South of Bloor. South of Bloor.
Sorry, south of Bloor. Yeah,
it's not in Yorkville. Technically,
I don't consider this Yorkville.
Physically,
north of Bloor.
It's not Yorkville. There's no, but they call it Yorkville.
Sure.
And it's an older building, and it's a pretty big unit, I think. Hold on.
2,300 square feet.
Yeah, no bad.
Maintenance fees $2,976. It's at 1166 Bay Street.
That's crazy.
So here's the problem with this
one.
one. Here's the problem with this one. I got another bone to pick with this guy. And you know what? I don't know what the situation is with the agent or the seller. Maybe they went through some stuff. I don't really know. But these guys bought this condo in 2023 for $1,579,000. Then they sold it to this schmuck for $3.15 million in 2025. Okay, so we're talking about less than 2 years later in a 2,300 foot condo. Okay, so 2,300 square foot condo. So think about
for
that.
What? 3,150.
3,150. So $1.6 million more for a condo. So you're the agent. You're walking through, and they wanted more money. They tried to get a little bit more money at first when they were listed. They were trying to ask like 3.8, then 3.7, then 3.5, then 3.4, and 3.4, then 3.3, and they eventually sold it for 3.15. But you're the agent, and you're going to tell your buyer, and you say, these people just paid $1.56 million for this. The market's gone down since then on condos, right? They didn't spend $1.6 million in renovations, right?
No, they didn't do anything.
They did a beautiful renovation. They renovated the whole thing. Okay, from that time. But what does it cost to renovate a 2,300 square foot condo?
They didn't do that much.
Yes, they did. They did the whole thing. I'm looking at it.
They didn't do $2 million worth of stuff.
No, in a condo, 2,300
square
foot
nothing.
Condo.
Yeah,
I just renovated a 1,300 square foot condo for $90,000. Totally renovated the whole thing.
So, but hold on a sec. What's crazy though is even at the 3,150, it's only like $1,450 a square foot, which for that location is not expensive. It's cheap.
$2,300 a maintenance a square foot maintenance fee.
Forget about maintenance fees, but just for the cost per square foot of the condo, that's cheap for that area.
You're comparing it the wrong way though. It's an old building, so it's not the same price per square foot. No way. They overpaid.
$1,450.
They overpaid. They should have paid.
People are paying
somewhere
$3,500.
I don't care. That's a new building with new amenities, with new fill in the blank.
Not even.
As an agent, your responsibility is to protect your client and make sure that they make sense. And for them to sell it 6 months later, obviously there was something there that hadn't been well thought about. It could have been some tragic incident. So I'm not trying to put any pressure on that person. They already lost a lot of money. But their agent, he should be, looking at himself in the mirror saying, I let my client overpay. And then the proof, it's like serendipitous. It's like 6 months later, you get proof that you oversold it to your client because then you tried to sell it and you couldn't even get them anywhere close to the price that they paid. They sold it for $800,000 less than what you sold it to them for 6%. Did the market go down $800,000 in 6 months? No. It's because they overpaid back then because you didn't care about anything other than your commission. That's what happened. And the real value of the condo might have been 2.5, and then it went down to 235. Okay.
The whole
thing they overpaid
weird.
$650,000. How do you sleep at night?
But the whole thing is weird. Like, how do you lose it in 6 months? Like, how do you buy it and then we better take $1 million hit right now because TK. I mean, come on. Let's think about this. Let's really think about this, okay? Wow, this place is so beautiful. I'm going to pay $3.15 million for it.
Yeah.
Did I pay cash? No. I must have a $2 million mortgage on this thing. What freaked me out so much? I guess I lost my job, maybe?
Most likely it's a mortgage problem based on my experience.
6
Most
months.
likely
How do you have a mortgage from?
the person
a 6 month
who's
mortgage? You took a private to
No,
close?
I'm just
How
saying,
what's happening?
it doesn't make sense at all. But it just, in most of the scenarios that I'm in, the people who are losing a lot, it's because the bank is breathing down their neck, and so they got no choice but to sell.
In 6
But in
months?
this situation, it should have been a cash purchase, a $3.1 million condo
You would
with
think for
$3,000 a
this.
month. It should be a cash purchase. It's a
I don't
luxury
know.
condo, beautiful
don't know.
property. Should
There's
be
a-
someone with money.
There's a lot of people with $2 million mortgages, right? There's a lot of people. I mean, I don't know. This guy, maybe he had some fucking meme coin or something that he lost all his money, or maybe he was like a tech billionaire. And then it's what the fuck happens in 6 months? And first of all, it probably took a few months to sell. How long did it take to sell? Like, when was it listed?
Which time?
The last time.
The last time they first listed it
dropped chow
for 2.995 in June, and then 3 months later sold it for 235.
And they still sold it in 6 months. So what the fuck? They started selling in 3 months.
They sold it in 3 months.
What has to happen that you move in and go, uh-oh, like what the fuck?
Right away.
Come on. So
Closing date was May 30th. And then they relisted it June 12th, right away. So they never even moved in.
This is Crazyville. Okay. This is Crazyville. So what happened here? What
I don't
happened
know.
here?
That's why I think it could be like a tragic thing. So I don't want to blow this up, because obviously we're on YouTube and we're talking about it, and somebody could be really sensitive about this.
Yeah.
And they already saw it on Blog TO, and then now we're talking whatever. So I'm only going to talk about the agent, because the agent should not have sold it to them for that much money, because it was not worth that much money at that time.
Worth that though. This is what's crazy. Is $1,400 is
not
bad for them.
But why did it sell for 1.5 back in 1.579 back in 2023 if it was worth it?
Yeah, no, they got a great deal back then. Look, they even got it for like 200,000 under what they were trying to sell it for. I don't even know. There must have been more, because the first listing here isn't expired. If you dig a little deeper, the story probably gets even more fucking crazy.